While 2022 Game of the Year discussion is certainly gonna revolve around AAA smash hits like Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, I think there are plenty of indie games that also deserve their flowers. Hey everybody, welcome to Play, Rank, Share, the show where I covered the marquee PlayStation 5 titles, create an ever-evolving ranking of the best PlayStation 5 games, and share my opinions with you. My name is Tyrus, and this episode will highlight the top 10 indie PS5 games of 2022. Make sure to like this video to help others find the show, and leave a comment about what your indie game of the year is, and with that out of the way, let's jump in. Rollerdrome tasks the player to master both combo building and shooting down waves of enemies in one satisfying package. I personally found the learning curve of Rollerdrome to be difficult. Games reliant on combo chains are not my forte, but nonetheless, after a couple of hours, I understood the formula and enjoyed progressing through the dozen levels available. Each level in the game has 10 different goals for you to achieve, ranging from collectible chasing to combat challenges. As you progress through the game, you're introduced to more gameplay elements, constantly adding layers of complexity for those who want to truly master the systems of the game. I think fans of Tony Hawk Pro Skater will appreciate this new take on the genre, and the skill ceiling of the game will have high score chasing fans feeling right at home. The Artful Escape migrated to PlayStation platforms in January of this year and ranks right up there for best art design and sound design for a PS5 game in 2022. You play as Francis Vendetti, who is seemingly destined to be just another folk singer and living in his uncle's footsteps. But your life quickly turns upside down as you learn that the reach of music is galactic, and a musical journey of self-discovery helps you realize who you are truly meant to be. The Artful Escape boasts beautifully crafted worlds of wonder and weaves music into your movement through the levels, encouraging players to shred the guitar to their heart's content. The downside to the Artful Escape is that it lacks any real gameplay structure, and aside from easy platforming levels and short Simon Says-esque memory challenges, the game lacks engaging mechanics. Looking past gameplay shortcomings, the style of the Artful Escape is still beautiful, and I was enamored looking at the different worlds as I soloed right through them. For fans of visual novel style games, I think you must check out Was A Teenage Exocolonist. You begin your journey after landing on an alien planet, desiring to rebuild civilization after leaving Earth. However, this planet is not kind to its new inhabitants, and as your colony struggles to get by, you must find your place within it, since you are only 10 years old after all. The sprawling narrative of Exocolonist takes place over 10 years, letting you truly mold your character as you see fit, as you make friendships, pursue jobs, and round out your stats in preparations for events that happen later in the game. Exocolonist also comes equipped with a card game to determine whether you win or lose challenges, with your deck based around the events your character has already experienced. While this is a little overall light on gameplay, I was constantly intrigued by the narrative and was hooked on maxing out relationship stats and building a better deck. With 29 endings awaiting you, there's also plenty of replayability for people who are enthralled with the characters and story. Stray pushes the boundaries of what indie developers can do with visual fidelity. A game that likely doesn't need an introduction, Stray has you playing as a cat in a futuristic but desolate city, and you are lost trying to get back into the wilderness. Accompanied by adorable drone B12, you learn about the secrets that this city holds and how things fell apart. Stray is primarily a platforming adventure game that lets you travel through its various levels to your heart's content. This was a game I played through slowly, continually marveling at the different designs that were created in this cyberpunk world. I was impressed by the details present in the hub city of this world, where you spend a good portion of the game. It's hard to believe, but Stray was the first game ever made by developer Blue 12 Studio, and I cannot wait to see what they will make next. Tunic might be the closest we will get to a classical-styled Legend of Zelda game on the PS5, and it also comes equipped with brutal difficulty. Tunic is an isometric action game as you travel the map, acquiring new weapons, fighting increasingly menacing baddies, and trying to figure out exactly what's happening. The most unique part about Tunic is that you collect instruction manual pages across the game. These pages contain helpful guides such as dungeon maps, story hints, and explanations of how different items you encounter work. Tunic never overtly guides you through its objectives, rather you must find these pages to help you find your footing throughout your experience. In addition to the sense of wonder in this exploration, Tunic has deceptively difficult boss battles. While the art design is cute and appears kiddish, some combat situations in this game are downright barbaric, where you must be careful not to be too aggressive when fighting these enemies. Overall, Tunic is a complete package of a game and a great 15-hour experience. There's also a secret ending for those hardcore players who want to unlock the full story behind this mysterious plot. Tinykin must be the most underrated game that I have played this year. In this game, you play as Milo, who has ventured to Earth from an alien planet, except he has been shrunk down to the size of an ant and must escape the house he is stuck in. To get back to your home planet, you must interact and help the Bud Society that has taken over the house, which features a variety of optional and mandatory platform and puzzle challenges. Tinykin feels like a love letter to collectathon platformers, with 6 levels that have you surveying every corner to ensure you achieve 100% completion. In this game, you are assisted by strange creatures called, well, Tinykin, who each have a unique traversal assist ability such as strength or stacking to create ladders. I quickly became obsessed with Tinykin and sought out the 100% completion, even if it meant searching over a map repeatedly to find just the last couple collectibles that were hiding from me. Tinykin exudes charm with its paper-cut 2D character models existing in the 3D-inspired world. The game also relies on cute sound effects to help convey tone and meaning in its story moments, as there is no voice acting. This game is great at always dangling the carrot in front of the player. There's always another collectible or more Tinykin in view as you collect your way through this 10-hour campaign. After launching on PC last year, PlayStation gamers were graced with horror card game Inscryption this most recent August. Inscryption is a deck-building game at its core, but its harrowing story and dark aesthetic gives it a haunting vibe. And while it's not scary on a moment-to-moment basis, there are plenty of unsettling moments sprinkled across the game. At the beginning of Inscryption, the premise is simple. You find yourself trapped in a cabin, forced to play a card game with a stranger. Inscryption had its hooks in me through both the story and its card battling components. I loved learning about the different cards and building better decks to try to make it further in each run, in part because I wanted to see what twists the story would take next. I have never played a game quite like Inscryption and recommend that if you haven't played it yet and this description sounds interesting, that you should jump in right now before you get any of the story spoiled for you. It seems like I just can't stop writing about Nobody Saves the World lately, but I think that stands as a testament to how good of a game it is. In this game, you play as a nobody who stumbles into being tasked with saving the world from impending doom. This game is best described as an action dungeon crawler, with each procedurally generated dungeon presenting varied challenges for the player. I think Nobody is best played with a partner through either local co-op or online play, as there can be some rapid difficulty spikes that are better handled with someone watching your back. The shining force of this game is its huge variety of characters you can play as. Even though you are a nobody, you've been granted the ability to transform into other beings that give you unique abilities, ranging from a knight to a slug or even an egg. Nobody is a game that I've continually thought about since beating it, and it now comes ready with new forms and dungeons in its DLC that was released after launch. My second favorite indie game of 2022, Cult of the Lamb, is part roguelike, part town management game where you run your own animal cult. You play as an innocent lamb who is saved from death by a powerful being, and you must build a cult in their honor. The roguelike components of the game are fun, but its cute aesthetic combined with your dark decisions as cult leader create one of the most memorable experiences on the PlayStation 5. I cherished my time with cult members such as John Stamos, Justin Bieber, and Brad Pitt. You get some control to be either a merciful or downright cruel leader, and I thoroughly enjoyed building up my cult and watching the members grow into the dozens. Your options and customization grow exponentially as you untangle the plot of freeing the deity that saved your life by decimating their enemies. The post-game loop leaves a little bit to be desired, but the main campaign took me about 15 hours to play and brought many hilarious moments along with it. My favorite PlayStation 5 indie game of 2022 is Sifu. I have been captivated by Sifu ever since I first played it in February. A martial arts action game, you have limited deaths in Sifu, and the special medallion that brings you back to life ages you every time you die. And over the course of the whole game, you can eventually run out of lives and get a game over. But don't fear, replayability is baked into the design of Sifu, as you unlock shortcuts that can help you replay levels to decrease your death counter for future runs. The boss battles waiting at the end of every level of Sifu have brutal difficulty, and I spent hours on several bosses trying to progress with just a couple deaths. No level is too long that it would leave you frustrated with any lack of progress, and even when replaying levels, it only took me about a dozen hours to beat the game. Sifu launched as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and I cannot wait for players on other consoles to eventually get to try this game out, as it's one of the strongest indie games to come in recent memory. I absolutely recommend Sifu to anyone who is up to the challenge. 2022 is no doubt the best year yet for indie games on the PlayStation 5, with a wide variety of different offerings if this list is anything to go by. I hope you found at least one game that is new to you and piqued your interest, and thank you for watching this episode of Play, Ranked, Share. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what your favorite indie game was this year, and ring the bell to be notified when future episodes are released. If you like this video, be sure to check out my ranking of the best couch co-op games on the PS5, and my overall Game of the Year video for 2022 is right around the corner. And until next time, don't stop sharing.